Hello again, everybody. Chris Cocker here. I'm all set to count down this week's 40 most played country songs in the nation. It's according to MediaBase 24/7 for the chart week of May 24th, 2025. Before I start counting down this week's biggest hits, let's take a look back at last week's top three. At number 3 was Whiskey Drink by Jason Aldean. Number 2 was I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen. And the number 1 song last week was I Never Lie, the first number 1 country hit for Zach Top. Now, can Zach stay at the top for another week? Let's find out starting right now. Here's the first of the 40 biggest hits. Here's a debut from a new artist from Texas named Hudson Westbrook. He rolls in at number 40 with House Again, the first of 2 debuts this week. At number 39, up a notch, here's Chase Matthew with Darlin'. At number 38 for a second week, the latest by Miranda Lambert called Run. And here's her second debut, rolling in at number 37, new from Hardy. His last time on the chart was a little over a year ago when he went to number 1 with Truck Bed. His 7th top 40 hit is called Favorite Country Song. From those 2 debuts, we say goodbye to 2 droppers, Falling Out, or Liar, and Texas. On with the countdown, here's Warren Zeiders up 3 spots to number 36 with Relapse. Up a notch to number 35, it's Megan Patrick with Golden Child. Up 3 spots to number 34, Parmalee with Cowgirl. At number 33, up a couple, here's Ernest with Would If I Could. At number 32, up a couple, here's Tucker Wetmore with 3, 2, 1. At number 31, up 2 spots, George Birds and It Won't Be Long. In his 11th week in the countdown, he's up a notch to number 30, Dierks Bentley with She Hates Me. At number 29, up a notch, it's Jelly Roll with Heart of Stone. Up a notch to number 28, it's Rascal Flatts and the Jonas Brothers with I Dare You. At number 27, up a notch, Keith Urban with Straight Line. Holding steady at number 26, it's Parker McCollum with What Kind of Man. In just his 6th week on the chart, Jordan Davis climbs 2 spots to number 25 with Bar None. At number 24, up a notch, here's Russell Dickerson with Happened to Me. At number 23, climbing 1, it's Jackson Dean with Heavens to Betsy. Up 1 to number 22, Eric Church with Hands of Time. And here's the fastest rising hit of the week, up 11 spots from its debut at 32 last week up to 21. It's Bailey Zimmerman and Luke Combs with Backup Plan. In her 25th week on the chart, she slips back a spot to number 20, Carly Pearce and Truck on Fire. Up 3 spots to 19, it's John Party with Friday Night Heartbreaker. At number 18, up 3 spots, Shabuzi with Good News. Up 3 spots to 17, Thomas Rhett with After All the Bars Are Closed. Up 2 spots to number 16, Luke Bryan with Country Song Came On. Here's last week's number 1 record, down to number 15 this week, Zach Top with I Never Lie. At number 14, the first of 2 hits for Morgan Wallen this week as he climbs 3 notches with Just In Case. Up 2 spots to number 13, Tyler Hubbard with Park. In at number 12 for the 3rd week in a row, it's Drew Baldridge and Tough People. Leaping 5 spots up to number 11, it's Nate Smith and Fix What You Didn't Break. Right with the first of the 10 biggest hits, here's Josh Ross as he scores his first top 10 record this week, climbing a notch to number 10 with Single Again. Also new to the top 10, up 5 spots from 14 to number 9, it's Sam Hunt with the song that becomes his 13th top 10 hit, Country House. For the 3rd week in a row at number 8 with our recent number 1 hit, here's Low Cash and Hometown Home. At number 7 for a 2nd week, here's Corey Kent and This Heart. Leaping 3 spots to number 6, here's Ella Langley and Work for the Wind. In at number 5 for a 2nd week, here's Kane Brown and Backseat Driver. In at number 4 for the 2nd week, here's Megan Maroney and Am I Okay? Leaping 3 spots to number 3 this week, here's Riley Green and Worst Way. The number 2 song in the nation this week, the song has been on the chart the longest at 33 weeks. Up a notch this week, here's Jason Aldean and Whiskey Drink. And the new number 1 song in country music this week, it took just 15 weeks to get here. And this becomes his 18th number 1 country hit out of his brand new album just released called I'm the Problem. There's the title track there by Morgan Wallen. And there you have it, our countdown to the 40 most played country hits this week. Join me again next week. Once again, we'll count them down and we'll find out who's got the number 1 song in North America.